Greetings and salutations. Ben here. Welcome to the Sunday Night Hang. And if you close your eyes, the Sunday Night Hang podcast. And tonight I'm hanging with my favorite Denverite. Denveronian? Denverite.
Yeah.
We'll go with Denverite. Transplanted from right across the lake.
Yeah.
My good brother in arms, Ike, from Flipside Music.
I still identify as a New Yorker, though. So,
well, you should. I fully understand that. And yes, whenever I'm thinking back to something retro growing up that involves Rochester, I just text Ike and he's like, I think it's this, but I was never there sober. And I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
There was a lot of good times back in the younger days.
Yeah, I think the last one was Zed Steiner with the big garbage plates.
Oh, I could go for a garbage plate today.
Today
was a garbage plate kind of day for me.
I hear you. Well, let's see who we have in the chat here. We've got Brad Guitar Miller, Surfer B, Frank Achille. Hey, Frank, welcome. Hip Metal Works, Eric Warrington, of course, Brother Aaron from Albus Band, Stephen Holt, John Duchesne, Paulie Walnuts, Tim Thomas, Amar, good to see ya. Symmetry, Janice, Randy, AQ Music, Lawrence Cash, Michael Krause, Octopus Ears, sure. Terry's 3Gs, Mark Taft, unfucking believable. Yep, awesome. Who else do we have in here?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Cheryl 75N, Thomas Santiago. Other left. Nice. Stephen Fraser or Fraser. I don't know how you pronounce it. We haven't met. Paul McNary's here. Stephen Holt, always a pleasure. Martin Lemaire, Ryan Hall, JP Page 2, Jack Collins, and Zach Thong. Fruitcake Tony. More on him later. Ferd Murphy, hello. Welcome. Jeff K. Wow, we already have 45 people in here.
That's pretty good.
Billy Baloney says, Rochester, Marge's Lakeside Tavern.
Oh, many a night at Marge's. What's great about Marge's is it's just an old house that's right there at the base of the lake. From you, we just come across and you could park right out back. But in the front where the bar is, it kind of slopes to the bar. So when you reach a certain threshold of alcoholic beverages, you seem to slowly start falling closer and closer to the bar. So you just find yourself at the bar all the time. And then they got a thing called the Boomba, which is like a pogo stick with a tambourine on it, and you bounce it on the floor to the beat, and everybody sings a Sweet Caroline and all this other shit. Yeah, it's a fun bar. It has changed over the years from when I was a kid. Last time I was there, they got a nice spread out back where you can hang out and watch the sun go down and all that good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I highly recommend it if you go to Rochester.
Eric's saying he's in Saratoga Springs, I think.
I've been to Saratoga. I clapped in there way back in the day.
Nice.
Saratoga's Performing Arts Center, I think it was. That was another good story. Me and my buddy Danny went to that. And we were walking up to the show, and we smoked a couple adult smokables. And so we go in, and it was funny because maybe I don't remember one, but Wonderful Tonight comes on. So it was during the Journeyman tour. And Wonderful Tonight comes on. And so, it's the big love song, and everybody's got their lighters out, this way before cell phones and such. And so everybody's like, wee, yeah. This lady, like two seats in front of us, turns around. She's like, shut up. This is my wedding song. Just be quiet. And we're all like, fuck you. People at her. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah. We're like, nobody cares it's your wedding song and you're at a concert. You're one lady.
Yeah. Okay, Karen.
Yeah, exactly. Relax, lady. It's fine. It's loud enough, I swear.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. I saw, where was it? Scrolling back. Yeah, Black Mantle. Hello and welcome to the channel. Says, just bought a pedal from Flipside on Saturday. Didn't know you had a YouTube channel. The guys were really helpful and the dog was awesome.
Ziggy that was probably Ziggy, I would assume. But we do have Marley is there. That's Sam's, our tech, his dog. So it's kind of funny because we have a dog named Ziggy and a dog named Marley. No intention. So we got Ziggy Marley at the shop.
I like it. Security by Ziggy Marley.
Well, I think Ziggy would be more the security dog. Marley's fairly small.
Yeah.
He's a wee fella, but he's awesome.
Management. Love it. Hey, there's Dylan. Great to see Dylan in the chat.
Dylan from the shop. Oh yeah,
Dylan from the shop. You know, because he doesn't see you enough at work, Ike, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I watched when he was on last time.
That's true. You did.
So Dylan, welcome to my got nothing planned done weekend. It all went to shit.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all good.
Unbelievable.
Earlier, Janice Lala. Hey, Janice. Terry's in here.
Hey, St. Brando. Amara asks, am I from Colorado? Nope, I'm a Canadian. Just Ike and I get along very well. Unbelievable asks, if you were to get a Kramer Beretta Special, what would you upgrade on it?
Me?
Yeah.
I'd have to see how the pickup works. I'd have to see how the pickup was, and I'd go from there. Because, I mean, what else really are we looking at? Unless, we upgraded to an FU tone bridge. Could be a good upgrade. I mean, that's about it. Can't change the big things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the neck or anything like that. And that's the big thing for me with any guitars that are kind of shred style. It depends on the neck. Just because I have kind of massive hands. So anything that's got like a really thin, like almost like Ibanez type neck, it's too small for me. I get cramped.
It's similar to a Fender neck. It's more medium than thin. Like it's a little thinner than a Fender neck, but not much. It's like they actually left some meat on the bone. Unlike, say, an Ibanez, which wafer thin.
Yeah. And it also depends on the thickness, the width of the neck itself. Because we have a slime green Jackson right now that I really like. And that's it. The neck is a little bit thin, but it's a little bit wider. So it's actually it plays comfortably. I just don't need another guitar in my life currently. I'm trying to get rid of some stuff, possibly, just because there's too many. Clearly, I have a whole closet of them hanging there. So the last thing I need to do is bring home a slime green Jackson, although it might end up at home at some point.
Well, it happens. And thank you very much, Stephen Holt, for the KB fun. Always appreciate. Cheers from San Antonio, Texas.
Sweet.
Nice. There's Sandra, part of the Fruitcake Tony Show Me Your Pick crew. I was on their channel last night. They do a different guitarist each week or band. And Fruitcake Tony has an extensive pick collection. And we were doing Steve Clark last night, and he had several Steve Clark picks, which those are hard to come by.
I mean, if you're one of my picks, sounds like the right idea. You can kind of store those a little easier than the shit we collect.
Right? How many picks can you store in the space of one amplifier?
Just shy of a shit ton.
Yeah, pretty much. What's up, Hip Metalworks? Good to see you, my friend. Leo Sofco. Doug Strong says, new guitar day. I went out and bought a Gibson 00 the other day. My first Gibson, somehow bought it over the G45 and the J45 Studio. Right on.
Sounds like it sounds good. I got a 45. I like it.
Nice.
I can't. Yeah, I think it's a 77. I told you that story, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't that like a yard sale find or something crazy?
This guy right here. That's a 77. I picked it up for $75 at a garage sale. It sounds so good. Basically puts all my other acoustics to shame.
But people will tell you, those 70s Gibsons, they're all garbage. Every last one of them. Yeah, sure they are.
Yeah, it was terrible. Everybody shits on Gibson. I get it, but there's gonna be some trash. Nobody's 100%. You can't be a manufacturer and everything be 100% all the time. Some stuff's gonna be better than others. We only hear about the bad stuff. It's the same thing with business and all that other stuff. We only hear about the bad shit. You could have 1,000 customers that have a wonderful experience, but the one customer that has a bad experience for whatever reason, whether justified or not, they're the ones that can reach 1,000 people way faster. You know what I mean? So it's kind of unfortunate.
I hear you. I'll be in touch with you, Mark, on that. It's supposed to rain most of the week. We shall see. Rock Daddy is here. Eddie Van Haskell. Good to see you guys. Unbelievable says for the price should not be bad QA. Well, no company does a setup on their guitar anymore before sending them out the door. I don't understand that. It just has to be within industry spec, which means, all right, it's not falling apart.
Well, the thing is, I think the companies that do, you just don't hear about them as much. Like I think companies like Yamaha that really go through their products, Reverend. I mean, we're a Reverend dealer. We have been for a number of years. I mean, we get the stuff in. Literally, sometimes they're almost in tune, just a few cents off.
Right.
And a lot of what we do during the winter time is every time a guitar comes in, we let it sit for 24 hours before we break into it and start doing our stuff. I know there's a lot of people like, I've never done it. I don't do that shit. I bought it. I'm going to open it up. Okay. That's great. We're a store and we don't do that. So, oh, shit.
Hey, it's Flipside. Excellent. I'm the road. Flipside. I love Flipside. Hey, it's Quentin James. See you later.
What is he? He just pop in any live stream? He just has access like that?
Pretty much. For only our select guests, of course, he does the Quentin drive-bys.
That's all right. Quentin's a good dude.
Yep.
We'll have to write a Quentin James song.
Just slide it right into one of the FAQ shows.
I think we'll have to do that.
I dig it. I dig that idea.
Natural, I'll be honest, I genuinely hate bursts. It's a hot take, but well, good thing you don't own this then, Doug.
Well, yeah. See, no. On the other hand, the funny thing about Doug's comment, which he's saying he's not into bursts, he likes natural, but like he compares to wood paneling in a basement, which personally I love. Like my ideal thing was when we were shopping for houses a couple of years ago. I'm like, can there be a basement that hasn't been renovated since 1972? Because I will be at home then. Shag carpet and wood paneling. Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean that's but you remember that stuff from being a kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, here's the thing. J45 for $75. I don't
exactly.
I didn't have the choice. Now, granted, if I did, I probably wouldn't have. If it was my choice, I probably wouldn't have bought a burst. I probably would have bought just a natural. But it's a 40-year-old guitar. you know. So
It's weird. It's like I love Martins in a natural, but a Gibson to me should be a burst for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, like I said, if I had a choice to pick it, I probably would have went natural, but I don't dislike it. It's, you know, it's different, a little bit different than everybody else. So
Yeah. Hey, Scott. Good to see you. Billy Baloney says my basement is a total throwback 70s. Awesome.
what's that?
Billy Baloney says his basement is a total throwback 70s, which makes sense. He lives in Cleveland, so, you know.
Yeah.
I get
It works for Cleveland.
Yeah. It's Cleveland chic, probably.
So Doug was saying that he would have taken the guitar, obviously. So, but I get it. It's a personal preference. You know, if I had the choice, I would have went, because like I hate black acoustic guitars. I don't get it. For some reason, I can't I like black guitars. I have them. I just don't on an acoustic. It'd be another thing if it was a super deal. Yeah. For something vintage, that was great, but yeah, I can't do black acoustic guitars. They just don't work for me.
All you see is every flaw and fingerprint, and that's a lot of surface area.
Dude, I don't even like black guitars at the shop. Like, we order them because they sell. I mean, black guitars sell. There's no doubt about it. It's probably the number one selling color, I would assume. But man, every time somebody touches it, there's smudges, and it's like they scratch easily. So you got to be careful. I mean, we've discounted stuff because it's got a scuff mark. You know, also are good at polishing and things like that too. So we know how to kind of, you know, make that stuff. Even if it's a light scratch, it's easy enough to get out. But, you know, still black guitars can, you know, they're tough to maintain. Let's put it that way.
It's true. There was comments on acoustics. What's up? My knees hurt. Good to see you, my friend. And thank you, Terry, for posting links in the chat to both the Flipside website and the Flipside YouTube channel, which everybody should check out because they have more answers than I do, because Dylan is clearly smarter than me. Clearly. What's up, Mayhem?
I'm reading all the chats too.
I like Dylan's comment. Matt Black guitars basically come with a 10% off sign at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's 100% right.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't tell you how many times we've just had a discount shit after a bit, because especially the difference is if they're on the shelf in the back, or if they're on the top shelf, or they don't, or they get sold very quickly, then for the most part, no issue. But if it's a guitar that kind of hangs around for a bit, people do try it. After a couple months or so, it gets discounted because it's probably going to have some scratch, or we have to go back in and buff the scratches out. So, and we've done that with, like, that's also a thing we'll do with some new used guitars. If we can kind of buff out some of those scratches and kind of shine her up again.
Sure. Greg Zeppelin.
I don't want to play too much of that. We'll get copyrighted or some shit. Do they do that on live streams?
Oh yeah, they nailed. I got a copyright claim last week for one of my theme songs I used to open the show that I've been using for over a year.
Really?
Yeah, and this company, and then also I reached out to them directly because YouTube's like, "Oh, there's nothing we can do." I was like, they don't tell you even what. So they're just like, "We own it," and they don't even say what song it is. And so I contacted the company directly, and they're like, "Oh, our algorithm picked it up. Our bad." Yeah, okay.
Yeah, everything is all hands off. It's just, you know, it's computers and stuff. So they're like, "Hey, we heard 3 notes that go together that sound like our thing."
Yeah, no,
you know. So I don't know. We had one of the guys who works for us, Gordo. He's got Gordophonic Records, and he was playing one of his own songs on his live stream, and YouTube dinged him. And he's like, "It's my fucking song." Right. Like, come on.
Yeah. Up to Douglas. So if you have any questions regarding any of Ike's inventory, ask away, because if he doesn't know, we got Dylan in the chat as well, who can, man, he knows, it's like he knows every pedal on the shelf. I don't know how that works, Ike. I don't know how you can keep track of that. Like,
I know I don't. I have Dylan. That's how
yeah.
I Dylan has got he's like a steel trap with a lot of this stuff. And at this point, with where we are in the business and the growth and all that kind of stuff, things have kind of changed. So I could still do all the stuff. I just I'm not deeply ingrained in my brain with all the details of all the pedals. I mean, dude, we're carrying 12 to 1,300 pedals in the shop currently, not including our used inventory. So it's pretty, the growth is pretty good, but I just can't keep it straight. Dylan's got that stuff. He's like a filing cabinet.
Charles comments, Flipside has great customer service. I agree. What's up, Boomer?
Charles?
Scott's asking, what's your favorite vintage pedals?
Like brand-wise, or, favorite, one is like the Univibe, obviously the Sinead Univibe. We got that. We got one. That one's super cool. Old Mutrons are cool. Fuzz faces will get you there. Some of the old, like Color Sound Fuzz, stuff like that. Some of those old vintagey kind of fuzzy bits are the ones that I like kind of the most. Not that I use a lot of them, but the Univibe I really like. And then, but we all use, who's going to bring out a vintage Univibe? You know what I mean? So we all use kind of the Unicorn to cover that ground, the Unicorn by JHS. I think that's it, some of that stuff.
I hear you. Let's see here. Octopus here says, has anyone played a 1982 DoD flanger? I have one on the way. No, but I'm jealous. I have the stereo flanger, which I dig.
Around here somewhere. I got a DoD something in the pile.
I'm like, this is the year of the Dodd for me. I'm loading up on DoD pedals. I've been browsing your website repeatedly, looking at the selection. I'm like, dang it, I have that. Ooh, I might have to get that though. The holy grail is to find, because you know how DoD was hit and miss. Like some of their stuff, it was just complete garbage. And they made a tuner. I want to try the DoD tuner just to see.
You asked us a question. I think you put a question up on our What the Fact this week about tuners. So
I did
to answer that.
Yeah. Which I'll only hint at, folks, to send you over there is, my personal opinion is, if you want to be a legit pedal company, should you not be able to fulfill someone's full pedal board from start to chain to finish? From tuner to reverb / delay? If you want to be a full service company. If you want to be, we just do fuzzes, that's fine. But if you want to be a full service company.
Well, I think certain companies you got to have full service dollars too.
Well, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like some of the companies, they probably do because they're like, there's enough tuners on the market already that they don't want to compete with that and put the capital into a tuner pedal. You know what I'm like, does Earthquaker really need to make a tuner when we have the Boss tuners, or we have the Korg tuner, Pitch Blacks and stuff like that?
Yes. So, hey, if Wazacraft did a tuner, then everybody should. Boss took the time to do a Waza tuner. I don't know what makes it so Waza great.
But that's Boss. They got loads of cash.
Well, that's true. They do. They have lots of cash.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It may be just a financial situation why they don't do it. They may not be able to see that return on the investment on a tuner, but I kind of go, why not? It seems like a utility pedal that would be an easy sell if somebody becomes kind of if somebody becomes a fanboy of your company.
This is what I'm saying.
They're like, okay, I love Earthquaker devices, so let me just get their pedal. Let me get their tuner as well. So it makes sense.
And they're poised because they are one of those companies that does basically everything else.
Yeah. I mean, those companies also branch into the utility side of things, so it's like kind of like One Control. They do a lot of utility stuff, but I don't think they make a tuner pedal.
Right.
But
And yes, LPD does need to make a tuner pedal. I've told him as much.
I emailed him earlier today looking for some 109 overdrives. I don't know if those are limited runs or not, but I was like, we need more of those.
Yes, I believe they were limited run and it's not a 4-knob Vermin. No.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if those were just limited or not. So I was like, yeah, I'll take more if you got them.
Well, I don't have a 109 faceplate for mine, Ike, but this did come in the mail last year, and if you notice, it says Vermin, and it's a 4-holer.
It is the little switch in the middle there.
That's the LED.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, is there another?
Yeah, but that was rebranded as the 109, which is a wicked pedal. So, what's up, Rob?
Looks like
Corey's Garden.
Brockway doesn't like Boss pedals at all. Yeah, to each his own. Man. That's why I kind of look at it,
I like some of their stuff. I really don't like other stuff of theirs.
Yep,
love their chorus, hate their phaser.
I'm the same way, man. There's some of the pedals that I'm like, oh, this is really good. Then there's other ones where we're like, yeah, it's just not. I mean, I'm a fan of the SD1. I know it's a screamer, I get it, but I like it. It's a good sounding pedal for what are they? $60, brand new. I mean, shit, you can't go wrong with that pedal. At least, if you want to get started for short money, $60 for a good sounding overdrive.
Mm-hmm. If you want something a little different, a DS1's about the same price too.
Yeah, pretty close. But I mean, I think they've done. I don't know. Boss has always been pretty solid. I mean, I used the Blues Driver for years, and I've kind of outlived it, outgrown it, gone different direction. But it's still a solid pedal. But the CE2 is really cool. The chorus pedal, the W, obviously the Waza one is like killer. Dimension C is really cool. And there's a lot of good Boss pedals. Not for everybody though.
Yep.
But hey, Prince sounded pretty good using all Boss pedals.
That's true. Hey, Sergeant and Greenleaf. I like that name.
Amp distortion is all you need. Sure.
If you got a good amp that has good distortion.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. Black metal. If I only had $500 to spend on a guitar at Flipside, what would you pick up?
Ooh.
That's a good question. Because you guys have a fair amount of stuff in that range, but however, with the way the industry's been creeping, I'm thinking what in my head is 500 is now probably 600, but
well, I mean, you're going to have a decent selection in the Squier Classic Vibe range,
which is a decent guitar.
Classic Vibe 50s Telly, of course, that would be my go-to. But there's also some really cool Jacksons that fit in that 500 price point that are pretty killer, and the G&Ls. There's some G&Ls that are I think they make the ASAT is maybe a little bit more than that. But I would also obviously check all the used gear.
Because that's the first place I go.
Yeah, I like used gear. I don't really buy a lot of new stuff. I didn't have before the store. Pretty much everything I ever bought was used, except for my first Telly. That was actually used too. Or my first Strat was
generally when you buy used, you can get your money back out of it if you don't agree with it. That's the nice thing.
Yeah, exactly. You spend $500, you're like, you have for a year or two, sell it for $500. And the way it's going these days, you might make a couple $100, or $100 or something. So, there's definitely, it's an even swap. It's a kind of a loaner almost.
Exactly. I agree. I don't know if you can get an Epiphone for $500 anymore. Well, the specials and the juniors and stuff.
Oh, you know what? Another one would be a Gretsch. Gretsch is got guitars that are in that $500 range that'll get the job done too.
Yep. Dylan's comment. Nope.
Say?
Nope. It's a much simpler question than that.
Yeah, that's true.
And I always say, why does anyone tune to anything other than standard tuning? Singers.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, if you're playing a half step down, but you do have the whole 432 crowd, which kind of is in that, those guys are, the 432 crowd can be interesting. Usually they're like, hey, it's, I tried it and I liked it and I do it. Okay, that seems reasonable. Then there's like, the metaphysical guys that are, hey man, it's the vibration of the universe, and man, and everybody's grooving, and we're like, okay, that's cool. You gotta remember what we do. A lot of times it's like, sure, that's cool.
I was gonna say, you'd be like, so you drove in from Boulder for the jam, didn't you? With that kind of attitude.
Oh, I know a guy in town that he will make everybody tune to him. If he goes to a jam, everybody's got to tune to him, which is 432, and he's that guy that it's all about the vibrations of the universe and the multiple dimensions and all that shit.
Which is fine until you're jamming with a keyboard player who's like, no.
Well, you can't. It's not like all of a sudden you're going to tune your keyboard.
Exactly. Like keyboard players are like, what, you're tuned down a half step? Well, I guess I'm not touching the white keys tonight.
432, 432 and a half, whatever it takes. That's stock harem. What is that? 220, 221? Whatever it takes.
Yeah. What's up, Paul Ewing?
44, 45,
Exactly. Basement Guitar Superstars here.
What's that?
75 people watching. Nice.
Nice. John says that 440 is the devil's work. That's why Ben tunes it to that.
Oh, so it goes back to my dad. He's like, Leo Fender designed a guitar to be tuned to 440, and it won't intonate correctly if you played anything wet. I'm like, but you can re-intonate when it's down half a step down. No, the scale length is designed for 440 tuning, and I'm like, whatever. First band I joined, he's like, what do you tune to? I'm like, drop C. That's not real music.
I'm actually going to get one of my tellies set up for C standard.
Nice.
Well, Metalhead Hippie was asking me about it. So I'm like, he goes, well, man, I'm looking to do this and I'm looking to do that. And I said, man, I got that set up already. Let me put it in C standard and we'll mess around with it and kind of go from there. So,
right.
So I'm going to take my Seafoam Ivory Telly Deluxe. It's got Railhammer P90s in it.
Right.
And I figured that'll work really nice at standard because then the P90s will cut through.
Mm-hmm. Basement Guitar Superstar, quite all right if you forgot to hand out a thing. I gave away a fret rocker 2 months ago, and it's sitting right there. I even spilled root beer on it last week, so hey, now it smells like root beer too.
It's been marinated.
Yep. Exactly.
Sorry, I looked.
The label says 439.5 or bust.
Sweet. Trying to get everybody attuned to that would be great.
What's that like? It's in tune, but it goes off that one notch off. That's like 439.5. Yeah, thanks, Brad.
Sorry, I got this in my hands and now I can't help myself.
So, anything new on the horizon for guitars coming into Flipside? Some new releases by companies that you're carrying, or?
I don't think there's anything that's any kind of new surprise. Most people that are probably in the chat follow a bunch of the stuff that's out there. As far as like new brands for us, I don't think we're kind of holding off until we get to the new building.
Right.
Then I have some stuff on the bubble. I got some stuff that I'm kind of working on behind the scenes. It's just a matter of we don't have the room. I mean, Ben, honestly, we are falling over each other at the shop. We got stuff stacked up 6 feet high. We got guitars that are just piling up in the back, and it's not like we're not moving them. We are.
Right.
It's just I feel like Fender is finally catching up a bit, and they are just shitting inventory to all the dealers. I did also hear that Guitar Center is only taking a certain percentage of what their big orders were. So that's actually freeing up inventory, and that's why we're seeing some of the stuff coming to us faster.
I was going to say, which is good because you've been back ordered on stuff for 2 years. Like nothing is caught up.
Yeah, I mean, we got stuff coming in that I ordered in last March. You know what I mean? Like a year. It's 8 months to a year that we ordered it. I mean, a few months ago, I actually put in my stocking inventory for Christmas of 22. So I put that order back in before we started the new year, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. So maybe 6 months ago, I put in my order for stuff for 22, Christmas of 22.
Crazy.
Yeah. And Fender's done some weird stuff as far as their requirements this year. So unless you're a custom shop, you can't get any signature models of anybody from Squire all the way up through. So we've always done well with like the J Mascis.
I was going to say, yeah, the J Mascis Squire Jazz Masters.
Yeah,
one of the best. Actually, I think it usually sets the record for best selling signature guitar because it is so much cheaper than any other signature guitar out there. But
yeah. And they sound great. I mean, they're killer guitars. I've always liked those guitars from the first time I played one. But we can't get any signature stuff because we're not custom shop yet. I say yet. So at some point we might be.
And fortunately, to get into being a Fender custom shop dealer isn't ridiculous because, like, I know my buddy Sean at Ardens did it, and I know how, I'll say it, cheap he is. So, like, for him to take the chance on that, which considering really only one of his 3 stores is going to move custom shop stuff, he ain't moving them in this town. Like, nobody's buying custom shop in this town. So maybe one guy, but it ain't me. So
it's not
I
me.
get that.
You know, the custom shop stuff is spendy. The way I look at it is for our store is, we've been tearing up as the years go by,
right?
To build that reputation for, for our service and for our service after the sale. Because if you're going to spend that kind of cake, you want to make sure that, number one, the company is going to still be there. But if you have any issues at all, that you have somebody to come talk to.
Exactly. I agree on that. And,
I
see Quentin's talk about NAMM. You're not going to NAMM yourself, right? But we are sending the Flipside street team on our behalf. Even I am delegating that shit out this year.
Yeah.
So,
well, you're in charge of
I am.
Or the Flipside street team. You and the rest of the fellas are our street team this year. So
yes. And JJ and Aaron will be there, and I just have to forward their info over to Ike for the pass because, of course, Aaron's messaging me today. He's like, "Hey, just wrapped the recording on my EP. What's the status of the NAMM passes?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. It's don't worry about it. It's taken care of. Don't worry about it. You just got to wear your Flipside shirt and look cute." And then I'm gonna have JJ and Aaron on the Sunday of the NAMM weekend on here to recap it all anyhow, without me having to fly across the continent.
If you want to do a live stream while you're out there, let me know. And you can tip me off to some cool stuff that's happening at the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want to go. The thing is, I'll actually be in Rochester in the 3rd week of June.
Oh, nice.
So I might try to see if I can come up and see if I got time. My nephew's getting married, so if I got time, I might make the drive. What are you, a couple hours?
Well, it's about 4 because you have to go all the way around the lake. But I'd meet you near the border anyways. It's like I can drive an hour or so down to the border. And
yeah, I'll see. I got to figure out how to, because I don't have a passport or anything.
Well, you do need one of those.
Yeah. It's different since the last
I don't
time.
have one anymore either because, COVID happened. And all of a sudden the other day I found my passport and I was like, is this thing still valid? No, it expired 2 years ago.
Oh, okay, buddy. This is Dave.
What's up,
Dave?
Dave?
You gonna go outside? You gonna go outside? Well, I guess that means I got a shit in dog.
You go ahead and do that.
I'll be right back. Come on. All right, buddy. Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Thanks again, Terry, for posting links. I assume he's still posting links in here. And hello to anyone that I missed joining in. Wow, a bunch of people left with Ike, apparently. Fine. That's fine. Maybe they'll come back with Ike. I don't know. Dave looks like good. Dave is good people. BC Rich. Basement Guitar Superstar says, I'll only go... Hey, RJ, by the way. Yes, and I saw your comment. I don't want your DoD death metal. I had the Digitech version, and it's too heavy. I'll leave that to you. You're the expert on those frequencies and tones. Yeah. I get a basement guitar. I think it's about 10, 12 hours to drive to Nashville for me. We'll see about that if they get back to Nashville or not. I don't know. Randy Crooks asks, didn't you try the Epiphone SG Muse? Maybe. I know I tried one of the Muses. I don't remember which one it was. Might have been the Les Paul Muse. I generally stay away from SGs. How do you feel about SGs?
I like, you know what? I kind of didn't like them, and then I think I've kind of come around to them. We got one customer, Jake, who brings his in. He's got a really good set of pickups in it from, I can't remember the name. Dylan will probably remember if he's still in the chat.
He is.
But he's got a really nice set of pickups from this company. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I've heard that and it sounds really killer. And a lot of people have come in with SGs, and I think I've just come around to the tone. For me, it was always a neck dive thing. I feel like I'm playing a fiddle, but I
total gravy pickups.
Yeah, that's it. See, that's why Dylan is like, he's an SSD drive.
I get it.
But like that's kind of turned me around on some of the SG stuff. So I would get one. I just usually don't gravitate towards the shorter scale length either. So that's kind of another thing with me. Even though I do have, I think 3 guitars with shorter scale with Gibson scale. So I would get one if the right one showed up. I don't want the red one. You know what I mean? Like I don't want a red. I want one of vintage cream or like TV yellow like that. I would, if a TV yellow P90 SG walked in the door
without neck dive, which they do exist. There's a few of them out there that don't dive.
I would pick one of those. I think.
I dig it. Headstock Harem asked me, Ben, dabble with 7 strings much? I really haven't. The only time I play a 7-string is when I'm in California because I play JJ's vintage Ibanez. I think it's an RG 740. If that makes sense, I don't know. It's a vintage RG 7-string. Maybe it's a Universe. I don't know. It's the only time because it's there.
It's one too many string. I could barely do what I could do with 6 strings.
Yeah, the neck is so wide. Although I do try to play wider neck guitars or my bigger neck guitars before going out there because JJ has some larger neck guitars.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like, not a 7-string wide, but a fatter profile. Dave.
Amar says he put a Kaler on his SG and it helped with the neck dive. That's cool.
Yeah, a little extra weight on the ass will do it.
Yeah.
You know, people have put tire weights in the cavities and shit like that, just to kind of. It's a matter of just the, you know. Sometimes it's just.
Well, you got to get the wireless pack and just duct tape it right on the guitar strap, right?
Yeah, there you go. That'll fix it.
Yeah. Of course, then you're wireless now, so that's an extra piece of kit. Basement Guitar Superstar asks, let's see here. Does Ike sell those shirts? I want one. Yes.
Which one?
Yeah, which one?
Of course, Flipside University is these are probably the two that are my favorites. I mean, we got a lot of really cool ones. I don't know if you see
that humbucker one. I think is still my fave.
I'd tap that.
It's
funny because people get offended with that one for no fucking reason. It's like it says I'd tap that, and they're like, "Nah, do you even know what the hell's going on here?
Yeah,
why are you upset?"
Yeah, exactly. I've worn that shirt grocery shopping so many times, and I just get sideways glances, and I just love it.
Oh, it's a great shirt. I think we got to order some more of those.
What's up, Stevie G? And the PV one is getting lots of rave reviews.
That one's really cool.
Yeah.
Did you see the other one that we did too? The yellow one, the Wu-Tang one?
Yes.
Yeah, that one's cool too. I don't even know if we got those up on the site yet. Shit.
Hey, Dean. Zin's Guitars in the chat.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, but Bass Guitar Superstar, go to flipside-music.com. The link that Terry's been providing. That's an affiliate link even.
Yeah.
We're big time and all. And there's a selection of shirts on the site that gets updated whenever Ike remembers to update it. That's how that works.
Yeah, we should be. I think we're fairly current right now. I don't think we have the new PB ones in, or I don't want to say PB because I don't want them to get.
Yeah.
You know.
Brad Miller also likes the 5280 Rush Tribute shirt, which, yes, again.
That one does really well. Yeah, I don't think we have the 80s inspired pointy guitar shirt on the website currently. Or the other one.
It's like you silk screened an ad out of Monitor magazine from back in the day.
Yeah. Out of Circus. Well, Jake came up with it, and I was like, man, that looks freaking cool. We need that. And then one day we had the idea for the Wu-Tang one, and that one came out pretty good too. So people dig that because it looks pretty damn close.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we'll, we got another one we might do a special run of. And I posted a picture of it probably a couple of years ago, but we got a little bit of grief for it, which none of us understood. But we might do a special run and then just reach out to friends. So it's like, hey, we know that you're not super uptight. One of these, because we.
That sounds like a shirt I have to wear on a show.
So what we did was we took the Slayer logo and just put Flipside on it. So instead of Slayer, it says Flipside. I posted a picture of it up on Facebook, and we got a bunch of shit. We got the guys that are like Slayer sucks, man. Then we got people that were a little bit more on the conservative side that had issue with Slayer in general, and that we shouldn't be promoting a band that promotes. We're like, geez, a 40-year-old fucking band that pseudo promotes demon stuff.
Yeah, why don't you go clutch some pearls or something?
Yeah, I don't think any villages got pillaged because of Slayer. So, I think it's okay. So,
considering what's Slayer's demographic these days? Middle-aged white guys?
Us.
Yeah, it's not the youth.
If we showed that to a kid, they have no idea. They won't. They're not really going to probably know.
It looks like something my dad would wear. That's not cool.
Right. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a what do you call it? We're going to do a special run and then just kind of, hey Ben, you interested? Hey Metalhead Hippie, you interested? And our local guys that we know are cool that aren't going to have an issue with it, But, it's just a play on a shirt. It's just a play on a logo. That's all.
Yep. So Quinn is asking, where did the name Flipside come from?
When I used to work in the bar and restaurant business. I used to work with a bouncer, and he used to always say, "Hey man, catch you on the flip side." catch you on the flip side. And then when I was kind of thinking about putting a store together, it just popped into my head. It kind of popped into my head as I was driving down the street, and there was a bar called the Flipside. And so it kind of all had that word came up, and then there's a bar called Flipside. And I started thinking about it, going, well, Flipside, if I'm gonna have a music store, I don't want it to be like a corporate shithole that we got to deal with all the time. So that's like the flip side of the corporate experience is a mom and pop experience. So we're kind of on the flip side of that. And that's kind of where it kind of came from. So it was a little combination of all three of those things. And it just seemed like it was cool. You know, I could have called it Ike's Guitar House or Denver Guitar Works or some shit. But I don't know. I thought it sounded pretty cool.
I dig it. It's catchy. It's memorable. Michael Krause says, my local grocery store plays Dio on the Muzak. Maybe Slayer next. Hey, I know, like, since I took over doing grocery shopping for the household, when like I'm hearing Van Halen as often as not when I go grocery shopping, I was like, am I that old that you're playing Van Halen in a grocery store, which is not my demographic? Like, I do kind of stand out in the grocery store on a Tuesday afternoon. That's all I'm saying.
I heard Metallica at the King Super.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the hell? Metallica's coming on? Okay. You know.
It takes you a moment, though. And all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. Really? Oh, okay. I guess.
That's because we don't think we're that old.
Right. Yeah.
I certainly don't. Like, in my head, I am not. And even the guys at the shop, Dylan can attest to this. I am not the oldest person in my store. Physically, I am the oldest person in my store, but mentally, I am certainly not. I'm certainly the other guys there are much more older than I am when it comes to some stuff. I mean, where do we get some of these stupid ass ideas? Like, you know, it's funny because MJ goes, "How do you own a business?" Yeah, well, I make good decisions. I'm a little nuts, but I make good decisions. So, but yeah, in my head, I'm still 25. You know, I'm really no different than.
Well, we're the first generation that bucked the trend. Like right now, we're wearing undershirts. You know, you would wear a collared shirt over top of a t-shirt. You know, you wouldn't walk out of the house in just a t-shirt. We were like, screw it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
We never stopped dressing like teenagers because we're Gen X. We trust no one and expect nothing. You know?
Right, and everybody can kind of go fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the fuck off generation. Like, hey, while you were over there bitching and moaning, we were at work. And you know what? We don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
That's why I mean, and I've said this before, kind of like to guys at the staff. I'm like, you got to realize us Gen Xers are, we're kind of dangerous, you know, because we grew up with grandparents that were in the Depression. So we know how to do shit on our own. Yep. We grew up without computers, without maps. Well, not without maps, but without like a map quest on your phone. We didn't grow up with a supercomputer in our phone. So we already lived a life of no technology, and now we live in a world with high technology. So we have a perspective we have kind of a crossover perspective. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny because I have my nephew who lives with me now, and he's 22, and he'll be like, "Man, it'd be cool if we knew what was going on with that." I'm like, bro, you got a supercomputer in your pocket. You got everything you need to find is in this stupid little device.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. It's like my grandparents grew up in the Depression and my parents were hippies. So like I learned to be resourceful and to question everything from day one. So.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, when I was a kid, hey, we need a table for the backyard. My grandfather, tink, 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 tink. 3-4 hours later, table for the picnic out of scrap wood that was in the back corner somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they just made a chair. We made a bench. You know, you need something. And that's why I think for us, like at the store, we're very resourceful with what we do because we know how to, like Dylan kind of grew up very similar to me too. So we just knew how to make things work. And if we had to, expensive just means DIY.
Yeah. And that comes especially on the music side of things, because no one's handing a musician a record contract. You have to learn that craft. You have to learn how to play the instrument, and then put a band together, and then, okay, get yourself gigs. Like, it's all do it yourself. So I get it. Like, anybody that's messed around with anything like that, you do have that DIY attitude. And it's like, or the fact that, hey, it broke, I'm not just going to buy another one. I fix what broke.
Yeah. Or how do we make this work? At least that's the way I've always kind of grew up. Plus, I didn't have shit. Single mom, all that kind of stuff. We didn't have a lot of money. So it was like we kind of had to get by with what we could. And then having, Italian grandparents, they had gardens. So we had food that came from the garden. Like, there was a lot of resourcefulness. My one grandfather could fix anything. So we had that was kind of how it was. And I think that translates, like I said, it even translates now to our business. Like, can we do this with this? Can we do that with that? How do we make this happen? Instead of, we just don't have this. Well, how do we make it?
Tractor trailer just blew a tire on the highway. It's like, damn, it's like a bomb going off outside.
I could hear it. That's crazy. Quentin James says his first toy was a stick. You didn't get the stick rock combo? Wow, you must have been in rough shape, Quentin. Zim's only 49.
Zim's has a pretty cool little guitar shop himself down in Arizona, and all used gear, which, we dig those places.
Yeah, next time I go down there, I got a buddy that lives, a friend of mine lives in Phoenix. So, because I've watched a couple of live streams. So, next time I head down that area, I'm gonna pop in and say hello.
Mm-hmm.
And used guitars, a little bit better margins in that stuff, usually. For us.
And those are the places you don't know what you're going to expect to see when you walk in.
Well, that's why for us, like, we got a pretty good, our used selection for guitars and for pedals is pretty good. We got a lot of people that's the traffic. I could see it on the analytics. They're looking at our used gear because they realize, oh shit, these guys got 200 or 300 used pedals. Well, yeah. We're constantly cycling through used gear because everybody's kind of like, hey, I'm not doing my 80s tribute band. Now I'm doing a early 2000s tribute band. I need to get rid of this gear and get this other gear for that project. Or, they're going to trade in because they want to go to, some Strymon stuff, or they want to trade in some stuff because we got an American Professional 2 Strat that they want, so we constantly move and use gear.
Okay. RJ asks, any word on carrying Aura amps pedals? I still want the diamond pedal they have.
Probably not. We kind of got a list of companies that we're interested in. We're kind of working our way kind of through those. There's a lot of cool company, fortunately and unfortunately, there's a lot of really cool companies out there doing a lot of really cool stuff. We're still small, so like trying to be able to, we want to get what we think is cool, but we have to get something that sells.
Yeah.
Because we've had that where we've gotten pedal like, hey, you guys should carry blah, blah, blah. And then we get it and it's like crickets. We just don't sell them,
Well, it'd be like, say, hey, Ike, it'd be cool if you carried nothing but custom shop gear. Well, yeah, but like, how often are you going to make a sale, right?
Right.
If you carry nothing but custom shop, and most of those customers are going to buy one guitar and one amp.
Well, you'd be surprised. We got a pretty high-end store here in Broomfield, Colorado, that they're kind of known for their higher-end gear. High-end Fender stuff, custom shop, Les Pauls. Like, they do special runs with these companies. They do a special run of an expensive ass guitar with Fender or with Gibson. And you'd be surprised how many people buy more than one $5,000 guitar. Because if you got that kind of dough, we're not those guys.
No,
we don't have that kind of cake where it's like, oh yeah, $5,000 for a guitar. Here, take my money, and that's cool and that's great. We'd have to sell a ton of our shit to get one. It'd be good. You know what I mean? So, so I think you'd be surprised at how many people will actually buy more than one expensive guitar. We're, like I said, we're just kind of not those dudes either. At least I'm not. I'm like, give me the shitty $400 guitar that sounds and plays killer. I'd rather have that. I don't need the status of having an R9, Les Paul. Just don't care. So that's me, though.
I'm the same. I play what I like. That's just the way it goes. So, on that note, we should probably wrap things up. I heard the old man walking around. The tire woke him up. That's what it was. He was probably taking a nap because his bedroom's right above me. So, hey, if we heard it, he heard it. So
does he still play? Does he still play?
He hasn't played in a good at least 10 years at this point, I'd say.
Oh, wow. Why is that?
I wish he would, but
interest or just
Parkinson's.
What's that?
Parkinson's.
Shit.
Yeah.
That kind of bites.
He has been singing a bunch lately, though, I've noticed.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
All over here. Dude, my neighbors put up the fucking for sale signs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. As soon as I started singing through an amplifier, they're out there. Time to move out of the neighborhood because that guy sucks.
It just reminds me of when I was living at the old house, there was a neighborhood band, right? And they would play Running with the Devil for hours on end, over and over, badly. To the point where, you figured out all the parts they're screwing up and you just want to walk over, rip the guitar out of their hands, it goes like this, and then you do this.
This part comes in on the end of 4. You're fucking it up by doing it on the 1. Stop.
Yeah, and it was just one of those things. Like every time when you think, okay, they're done for the day because it's been like 7 minutes, you'd hear that damn bass kicking. Dumb. I'm like, oh, for the love of God, come on. 17 times. Really, you got to play the same song 17 times.
You got to get it right, man.
Yeah, I don't think I ever heard them play another song. I think it was literally just "Run with the Devil" over and over.
One song. See, that's the thing where we've played it. I mean, you know. Sometimes you play that song over and you're like, why can't we get this damn thing right? And then you question going, should we even be playing this song? Like, why is this a song is everybody really into this tune? Yeah. We can't seem to nail all the parts. Yeah.
Is there another Van Halen song we can play, perhaps? I don't know. Yeah.
We used to do.
We looked at Unchained,
Yeah. Yeah, there's always that song, or it's the one part, like you got the whole song except for the break, or there's something that just can't seem to tie it together. There's one part that you can't get right. Yeah.
I know for a fact there was at least one song I can think of where we could never nail the bridge, so we just didn't do the bridge when we performed the song. We just edit. We do the radio edit, folks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's funny though, because then you're like you said, the neighbors got to, your neighbors got to hear all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't be the guy that calls the cops because they've been at it for 4 hours and driving everybody crazy. I'm the last guy. Right. You just hope it. Come on, neighbors. There's got to be a Karen that lives around here that's pissed.
Yeah, somebody's got to be going crazy with this. I usually try to stop. I think our noise ordinance in Denver is like 10 o'clock. So I try to keep it down after that. But there's times if I'm enjoying adult beverage or something, if I'm smoking a beer, I might want to crank up a backing track and get after it a little bit,
Mm-hmm. I agree. Well, this has been a great hang as always. And if Aaron is lurking, yes, we will arrange the NAMM passes because you are the Flipside Street crew / Canucks with Guitar Street crew out there. And JJ's going to look at all the guitars. Aaron will look at all the pedals. And
so I may have a request for you.
Okay.
I might have a few companies I request that you go look at for R&D purposes, just to see, you know, are they, what do you feel? I know everybody's putting on the best, you know, it's the NAMM show, so everybody's putting on their you know, they're putting on their best suit, if you will. But there might be a couple companies I just want you to go, like, how does this feel? What do you look, you know, how does it look? Stuff like that. Because I got some, like I said, I got some stuff cooking. So I might need you to help me out.
Perfect. And there's JJ right at the end. So yes, JJ, you and Aaron will have some homework at NAMM. We'll have a list of companies to check out and report back on. So there we are. Awesome. Awesome. Well, hold the line, Ike. I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night with Bent Tom and Terry's 3Gs doing Canucks with guitars. And what else we have coming up this week? Videos, I suppose. And then 1 week from tonight, Steve from Boston coming back for a hang. So that's always fun.
Very cool.
Hanging out with Steve. So there we go. Thanks again, everybody. Special thank you to anybody that contributed tonight. Always a pleasure. Always helps out the channel. Check out Flipside Music's website. Check out their YouTube channel with the What the Fuck each week.
Every Tuesday or maybe Wednesday is coming out now. I don't know, something like that. Yeah,
I don't know. I watch it every Sunday morning. That's my deal.
Oh, well, that's good. That works.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. While all these guys are still on this stream, yes, come over to our YouTube channel, but also follow us on Instagram if you're on Instagram, because we will be putting a video up tomorrow for a giveaway.
Ooh.
Giveaway.
Tomorrow on the Flipside Music Instagram channel. What's up, Boner Jams? Right at the end.
So it's Flip_music_Denver on Instagram. It's going to be a cool giveaway.
Yes. Oh, excuse me. Beer burps. Nope. Orange pop burps. That's right. I don't drink anymore.
I wish that was the case for me.
It's just more money for gear.
All water. A little bit too much yesterday. Friend came into town, and yeah,
That happens.
and we did write a cool blues song though last night.
Perfect. There we go. Hold those doors open, folks. Let Doug's wife in heavy in traffic because she's real. Rock on. Be good to each other. And, of course, don't litter. Just don't.